That's what you call standing on business right there. Oh, makes contact, devastating shot. This dude is about to leave his feet. He is stunned. He is petrified. He's ragdolled him. Flapjack, pancake, it's a wrap. This dude wears a neck roll, guys. So this guy is about business on the field. When was the last time you seen a guy wear a neck roll? Midwest corn-fed type of offensive lineman that just is about his business. Oh my gosh. This dude, he looked like he got hit by a train. Getting crushed by a building is exactly what we're talking about right here. That is a pancake action, the best I've seen so far out of all these prospects. This guy is a ragdoller, a manhandler, a bully. More manhandling, more flapjack action, more short stacking. Let's check those. Boom. That man has left his feet. I don't know if you can see it because he's in white and they're in the snow. Dude's feet is in the air. He looks like, Uncle Phil throwing Jazzy Jeff out of the building right now. Yo, it's your boy, Big Mike Raider, and we're here for day 22 of the 30 days, 30 prospects, where today we're covering Cobee Bryant out of the Kansas University, cornerback, 6 foot, 180 pounds, not the biggest dude in the world, but he's a willing tackler. He gets down and dirty. He's a jaw jacker, just how I like my corners, man. He talks a lot of trash, but he can back it up. This dude is tough on the field. He's a ball hawk when he needs to be. He is a perfect candidate for this defense when it comes to off-man coverage and zone coverage situations. Doesn't have the fastest speed in the world, but he's great at getting after the ball. Off-man coverage, zone coverage is the name of the game for him. But we'll talk about it. We're getting to the pros and cons, and then we're going to talk about draft placement. I'm looking at the 4th round in this situation, but we'll get more into it. But before we get into anything else, man, you guys already know what to do, man. Like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. Big Mike Raider. So let's talk about Cobee Bryant right here out of Kansas, number 2, not 24. We're talking about the corner from Kansas, right? So in 2024, he had 37 total tackles, a forced fumble, 1 sack, 4 interceptions. The year before that, in 2023, similar numbers, 32 total tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 sack, and 4 interceptions. Consistency is the name of the game with Cobee Bryant. This guy also is a willing tackler. He gets down and dirty, and he's going to talk a lot of trash while doing it, right? So let's get into some of the pros and cons of Cobee Bryant. Let's talk about it, man. Like I said, I think he's a 4th round draft projection. We'll talk more about that. But let's talk about some of the strengths. Shout out to NFLDraftBuzz.com. You guys already know what it is. Elite ball production with 13 career interceptions and 22 pass breakups, showing natural instincts and timing when attacking the catch point that translates to Sunday. Yeah, very crafty, very savvy. Seems like he's already kind of have that veteran savviness to him already. That's the vibe I get from Cobee. So let's talk about some more. Nasty competitor who plays with visible swagger and doesn't back down from larger receivers despite his thin frame. Brings legitimate dog to every snap. I mean, how could you not want to pair that with the likes of Max Crosby, a Christian Wilkins, the linebackers we have, Tommy Eichenberg, a lot of those youngsters that we have, you add that with some of the veterans like a Landon Roberts. You add that with a Isaiah Polamau. We added with a lot of these youngsters, and he brings that spice, that swagger to a defense that already has some. That can be a good addition, man. I really think so. Excellent zone coverage skills where he reads route combinations and quarterback eyes with veteran level anticipation, often baiting throws he can disrupt. And I think he kind of reminds me a lot of what, Jack Jones can do, when he was here, right? He's about the same size, same type of frame, but in zone coverage, even off-man situations, he's very quick to the ball. He's like, he sees it, he's getting there. And he can be that type of guy with home run abilities to kind of get the ball take an interception and take it to the house. He's done it quite a few times at Kansas, and I think he can continue doing that in the NFL. Quick twitch closing burst allows him to squeeze throwing windows and recover from occasional positioning mistakes with explosive final steps. Yeah, his final steps at closing speed is elite. We're, like I said, he ran a 4.5 40, not very impressive as far as speed when it comes to corners, but the closing speed is a lot faster than what his 40 says. So that back end speed, we'll talk about the weaknesses, but his back end speed needs to be worked on, right? Surprisingly effective press corner with good hand usage and timing at line of scrimmage, disrupting routes before they develop despite weight limitations. So he does have the weight limitations. The speed is a little bit, more to be desired, I guess, but he does have the ability from time to time to get in there and get physical and press corner situations. So he also has that ability to do that, right? Shows remarkable body control when turning to locate and track the football in flight, consistently finding ways to get hands on passes at full extension. Like I said, savvy kind of guy, almost has a veteran's presence and mentality about him. Routinely fights through receiver blocks in the run game with determined effort and technique that bellies his size limitations, refuses to stay engaged. Like, this dude is an absolute dog. He's a pit bull on the field. 180 pounds, it doesn't even matter. He fits in. He has that same kind of silver and black mentality. It already feels like he should be here. So that's what I think about Cobee Bryant. Those are some of his strengths. Let's talk about some of his weaknesses, right? There are some weaknesses, some glaring weaknesses. He is a 4th round prospect for a reason. There's a lot of things that people are like, I'll pass on that. But I think in the right scenario, in the right system, he fits in perfectly, right? Significantly undersized at just 180 pounds. He's the 3rd percentile of all the draft prospects in this class, 3rd percentile as far as weight goes. So a little light in the ass, right? And I think he weighed in at under 180 pounds, either the pro day or combine, one of those. But he's coming in a little bit lighter than that, so he's gonna have to put on some weight. You see a guy like, one of our 30 days 30 prospects, alumni, I guess, from a couple seasons ago. We talk about Emmanuel Forbes. He kind of has a similar build, so he's gonna have to kind of work on getting some of that weight on, right? Emmanuel Forbes didn't last long with the Commanders. He ended up getting cut, and now he's looking for a second chance with the Rams. Hopefully Cobee doesn't have that type of situation. He kind of knows that he has to work on these weaknesses, gains a little bit of weight, not too much to where it's kind of affecting his game, because some people just play better with kind of a wiry frame. But you kind of want to see him at the 180, 185 pound range. That's kind of where you want to see him, right? Overly aggressive coverage technique leads to grabbing unnecessary penalties. Drew 12 flags over his final 2 seasons when beaten in man coverage. So this guy, man coverage, he takes a lot of risks, right? And that's why I think that because of those risks, you're going to want to see him in an off man coverage type of situation, or in zone coverage where his strengths are a little bit accentuated. We kind of want to put him in a situation where he's going to get handsy and things like that. And that can get worked on, fine tooling that and doing things to kind of mitigate those issues, right? Struggles against bigger targets who can box him out at the catch point, who use their frame to shield him from making plays on back shoulder throws. Well, a lot of these corners, against these bigger receivers kind of get bodied in most cases. And that's even more of a reason why we need to get Cobee a little bit more weight on him so he can withstand stronger receivers like that, right? Let's talk about a little bit more of his weaknesses. Lacks elite deep speed. He had a 4.53 40 to recover when beaten vertically by faster receivers, sometimes relying too much on grabbing to compensate. So, like I said, gets a little grabby. The top end speed isn't to be desired, but you want to put him in the right situation so where he can succeed, right? Ankle biting tackle technique will lead to broken tackles against NFL ball carriers, as he often dives low rather than squaring up on contact. All these DBs do that. I don't think it's really a glaring weakness. He's 180 pounds. He's very crafty when tackling. He wants to get dirty. So, I can overlook something like that. Now, where does he fit with this team, right? We're not looking at him to be a number 1 cornerback, 1 starter. He's a 4th round pick for a reason. Now, if he develops in one, he does all these things that we're talking about weakness-wise. If he develops those things, then great. He could be a cornerback one down the line. But what we're looking at him as a depth situation, a guy who can come in rotation and continue sustained success with this defense. I like him personally in a slot situation, a nickel corner type of situation. I think he would be great in the nickel corner because he's a willing tackler for one. He's willing to be in the box and get dirty and make plays, right? Now, a lot of people are saying, like this expert said, that he tackles a little bit low. You're a little bit concerned about that, but a lot of these corners do. And I think with his scrappiness and savviness, you can have him in competing for that nickel corner position. Now that Nate Hobbs is no longer with us, he went over to Green Bay. We're going to be looking for a nickel corner. Now, a guy like, Stokes, is he's going to be a guy to kind of step up in that nickel corner? Are we looking at, DeCamerion Richardson, the guy we drafted last year in the 4th round? Do we look at him to be that nickel corner? Or do we look at a guy like, if we do draft him, a Cobee Bryant, to kind of compete with those guys for that nickel corner position? And that's where I see him kind of being in a rotation, maybe have him on the outside for depth purposes, just in case, Jacorian Bennett or whoever else we pick up goes down, he can come in and relief and handle business in those situations. But that's where I have Cobee Bryant. But what do you guys think some of the strengths and weaknesses and how he fits with the Las Vegas Raiders? You let me know. Let me hear it in the comments. But let's talk about draft placement. Like I said, he's a 4th round guy, day 3 type of dude, strictly. His overall rank from all the scouts is 108.8. We pick at 108th overall. So I'm going to say that's a sign. Maybe he lands right at 108 in the 4th round to us. And I wouldn't be upset about it, right? Let's see what the rest of the experts have to say. Shout out to NFLDraftBuzz.com for the chart. But Bleacher Report has him going at number 64. They have him as a 2nd round talent, right? Late 2nd round, early 3rd. 33rd team has him going number 87 overall, just after us. Draft Bible has him going at 89. Sport News has him going at 95. The Athletic has him going at 96. And then you have PFF have him going 120th. You're looking at the mid 4th round type of situation. Draft Buzz has him at 126, another mid 4th round type of look, right? MDDB and ESPN has him going 133, and then NFL.com has him going 145th. But you guys let me know. Do you like him in the 4th round? I like him in the 4th round. I don't think he's going to be a 5th round guy. I think 4th round is kind of the sweet spot for him. I don't see him getting picked any sooner than that. I could see a scenario where he's getting picked maybe late 3rd. Maybe he is a top 100 guy if he fits into a good scenario with a team who where his skills can be accentuated and he can be a good fit for a team like that. I don't see him as that top 100 prospect in this draft class. I see him just outside of there at 108 going to the Raiders. But you guys let me know how you feel about him. Cobee Bryant out of Kansas. But guys, that is the pros and cons. That is how he fits, everything, draft placement, all the good stuff. Let's get into the film. One of the most battle-tested cornerbacks in the 2025 NFL draft class, Cobee Bryant out of Kansas, has earned his reputation as a feisty, playmaking defensive back with a knack for finding the football. A 4-year contributor in the Big 12, the 6-foot, 180-pound corner finished his Jayhawks career with 10 interceptions, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a reputation for stepping up in big moments. Bryant's aggressive mentality and sharp instincts make him a valuable day 3 prospect with starting upside. Bryant's strengths start with his competitive fire and ball skills. He drives in off-man and zone coverage, reading quarterbacks' eyes and anticipating routes with high-level instincts. He's physical at the catch point and isn't afraid to come downhill and run support. However, there are limitations in his athletic profile. He lacks elite top end speed, which may limit the ability to carry vertical routes against faster receivers. While his physicality is an asset and occasionally leads to penalties, particularly with downfield contact. For the Las Vegas Raiders, Bryant will be a smart value pick in the 4th round. He brings an edge and toughness to the secondary that fits the silver and black ethos. With the Raiders still needing more depth and consistency at corner, Bryant could step in as a rotational player early, particularly in nickel and dime packages, while developing into a potential starter down the road. His instincts, energy, and ability to generate turnovers would immediately boost the defense, looking for more takeaways. In a division stacked with pass-heavy offenses, Bryant offers the kind of aggressive, savvy play that can swing momentum. And at a mid-round cost, he could prove to be one of the draft's better value picks for Las Vegas. That is Cobee Bryant in a nutshell, guys. Like I said, 4th round type of guy. He has the ability to possibly work on and climb up the ranks to get into that starting into a cornerback 1, cornerback 2 position. He reminds me a lot of Jack Jones. I'm not going to lie to you. He's kind of wiry. He has that bulldog, pit bull mentality. He's a home run shot waiting to happen as far as getting after the ball and making a pick into a pick 6. He does those type of special things. And you put him in the right situation where he's in off man coverage or in zone situations, let him use his vision, his savviness, his veteran savviness that he already has. He let him use that. He can be something special in this league and hopefully for the Las Vegas Raiders. But you guys let me know what you think about that one. But guys, that is day 22 of the 30 days, 30 prospects. And I'll see you guys on the next one. But before we get out of here, man, you guys already know what to do. Like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. Big Mike Raider. That's what you call standing on business right there. Oh, makes contact. Devastating shot. This dude is about to leave his feet. He is stunned. He is petrified. Ragdolled him. Flapjack, pancake, it's a wrap. This dude wears a neck roll, guys. So this guy is about business on the field. When was the last time you seen a guy wear a neck roll? Midwest corn-fed type of offensive lineman that just is about his business. Oh my gosh. This dude, he look like he got hit by a train. Getting crushed by a building is exactly what we're talking about right here. That is a pancake action, the best I've seen so far out of all these prospects. This guy is a ragdoller, a manhandler, a bully. More manhandling, more flapjack action, more short stacking. Let's check those. Boom. That man has left his feet. I don't know if you can see it because he's in white and they're in the snow. Dude's feet is in the air. He looks like, Uncle Phil throwing Jazzy Jeff out of the building right now.